Hi guys, so this video is going to be a part 2 to a previous video I did about my old artwork. The last video got amazing amount of views and comments. I was not expecting it to do as well as it did, and so many people wanted a part 2. It was crazy. I am most definitely going to make it into a series because I really enjoy doing these videos. If you watched the last video, you're probably wondering, why is this picture on the screen?
These are pretty cute, actually.
This picture is of me and my high school best friend Marriner. She wanted a part 2 as well. So how am I to refuse an offer like that? As well as, oh god, I remember this. This is actually one of the pieces of work I did for my year 9 BTEC. Wow. I can tell that I used Crayola, and I remember a conversation with my art teacher at the time that went a little something like, don't use Crayola, they freaking suck. You can see the imprint of the picture behind. No! I'm so confused. Zoe, why would you post the same picture twice? Zoe, what are you doing? Twice, just with a different background. I don't care if you're experimenting. What I used to do was I used to take the bucket tool and I used to just fill in traditional sketches without even fixing them up afterwards. Look at all the white space. What is that emoji? Well, at least it's not as bad as... Oh, that brush again! You really liked that brush, didn't you, Zoe? Oh my lord. The babies! The babies! I used to think this was cute! Well, it kind of is. The eyes are like the size of the head. That is one bug-eyed baby. I'm blown away by how terrible it all was. That was Paint Tool Sai as well. Paint Tool Sai? How? I've just come across the animations. Oh. That's 3 frames where there's literally no difference. I put a little caption in the last video about not mentioning the titles and how cringy they are. Yeah, we're not going to do that today either. You know how in the beginning I said it was terrible? Yeah, I got worse in proportions and worse in everything else, to be honest. So, oh, this is a train wreck and a half. That's the same picture, just recolored! No! I'm giving up on life. Again with the pictures of me. Why? Fetus Zoe. Jesus Christ. Again, the same picture, just recolored. Why? Why would I try and replicate the GIMP brush that I loathe so much on Paint Tool Sai? Why? Why would you take the pictures at night? Don't you know anything about lighting? You could always go outside. There's a table outside. Oh, here is where I started actually using pictures from the internet as my background. Why? This is basically the same character model, just drawn with different clothing and just done with different colouring and backgrounds. Oh, great! Now they start to look like Bratz dolls. Memories. Couldn't you just focus the camera? It's not hard. Oh, good. The stories. Just what we all need. Why would you repost this again? This is like the 4th time I've seen this picture. I love DeviantART as well because it just says your image is large enough to sell as a print. When I was younger on DeviantArt, I didn't want anybody to know my last name, so I actually decided to call myself Zoe Marie. It wasn't only my first name that was affected, it was my last name as well. Big heads and tiny hands. Look at how small those hands are and how big that head is. And the fact that I used to put the title in the picture. No! Oh, great. Work in progress shots, that's exactly what we need. We haven't made it out of the nightmare zone. That brush will be the death of me. This is actually the first time I decided to do something based on underwater photography. The fact that I've done pictures based on underwater photography somewhat recently makes me want to redraw this one. Why do I want to draw all the ones that were based on Taylor Swift songs? I'll never know. Look what you made me do! Look at that hand! Look at the arm! It gets thinner, and then it gets thicker, and then it gets thinner. Here is something that I need to address that was brought up by Avery in my last video in the comments section. The recolors. There's actually no recolors in my gallery. That is because at some point in the last 7 years, I actually went through it and I deleted all my recolors. You can see the remnants of some of the recolors on the left hand side of this picture. That's all I'm gonna say. Based on another Taylor Swift song. Younger Zoe was a big Taylor Swift fan. Those are some dilated pupils. You even made your own base? Zoe, how sad can you be? At least I got out of the GIMP phase and stopped using that brush. There is actually a coloured animation of this. Surely this should be decent. Well, it's a few frames, but it gives you an indication of the things that I could do back then. Back when I was younger, I actually had a family of characters that could actually turn into dragons. A character that I currently have, Jalul, actually has this power as well. This family was called the Blazes. You had Jordan, that was known as Jojo. There was Brooke. There was also Tanya, Edward, and Thomas. I bet you can guess the basis of where their names came from. This took me ages. 20 separate characters, the exact same canvas, and doing it digitally. Why would I put myself through this? Oh look, there's Bethany. Oh, more pictures of me. That's just great. But you can tell the shading got better over time-ish. Look at that picture of Spyro. I actually kind of like this background. I wish I would have pushed it a bit further, but for 2011 standards, I really like this. I wasn't expecting to actually like this. Oh no. My first attempt, or one of my first attempts, I think at coloured line art. Basically, if you know Paint Tool Sai, I used to use the line work layers. This is because I didn't know how to use a tablet at all. Line work layers. I had no idea what a clipping mask or clipping group was. So, lucky me. It looks so terrible. Oh, here is where I used to overlay galaxies on everything. From photos to comics that I did. Why? That's the dog from the last video. You still have the big hair, the big foreheads, the just big heads. Just big head syndrome memories. The regrets. Help me. I'm not going to even talk about some of these. Some of these I just have mentally blocked out of my mind, especially this one. The paper I was using was disgusting. Look at how bad that paper is. You can just tell by the way the picture looks. It's so awful. Look at the head, look at the arms, look at the body. Like, it's so disgusting. Why did I think this was good? Oh, my style was so inconsistent. You can tell, like, there's so many inconsistencies. It's insane. It sounds like I'm done with life. Here's another thing, Zoe. Why would you name an OC after a theme park? It's so bad, I'm kind of tearing up. This was me when I was in year 10. I thought this sketch was the bomb. It's not. It's awful. The countless times I've seen that picture, I want to burn it. I want to burn this in hell. I remember doing this. This took ages. This... Oh, wow. This is terrible. What is going on? This is supposed to be a picture of a family Christmas. It looks like it's a photo took from a MySpace angle. The amount of swooping fringes, the amount of saturated colours. That Christmas tree, it looks as if it's a cardboard cutout that's been stuck to a wall. It doesn't look 3D. Yet you did even try making a 3D playpen. There's some form of logic to it, but in other areas there's no logic at all. I remember I drew this and my granddad instantly pointed at the wheels and was like, "You did the wheels wrong. They don't look right." Portraits of Hayley Williams and then Taylor Swift as well. They look horrible! Where is half of Taylor's head? And what happened to her boob? What? I'm blown away by how terrible this is. This is supposed to be a portrait of my best friend Bryony. That caption is right. Oh, I said earlier about there being no more recolors. Guess what I found? Oh, these are some of the cringiest ones. The fact that there's mine right next to it. Nothing is worse than a fate worse than cringe. How does it get somewhat better here? How? The anatomy, it suddenly gets better. Oh my, no. It's so terrible. It's so awful. Why? What I've learned from this is that I'm inconsistently terrible. That picture. Burn it. Oh goody, a comic. I can't wait to read this. You can tell this was separate panels that I stuck together, right? You can tell that I put the panels in a hat and picked them out at random. The only way you can tell the order of this comic is the little blue arrows in each of the corners. This is bad. And I think one to end on would be this one because it shows how inconsistent my drawing actually is. Look at it. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!